interview Daniel, and he is going to interview... Hi friends, it's Sam and welcome back to my channel. Today I have with me a very special guest to talk about asexuality. This is Daniel, aka Slice of Ace.
Hello.
He is a different type of asexual to me. He is a homoromantic, which we'll get into in just a sec. And we've come up with 10 questions to ask each other to further broaden your knowledge on the spectrum. And he is going to interview me over on his channel, so be sure to subscribe. I'll leave links and stuff down there. Let's do the thing. Question 1. Describe to the viewers your asexuality.
Technically that's a command, not a question.
Okay, sorry.
But
How would you describe your asexuality?
so I identify as a homoromantic asexual, like Sam said. What that means for me is that essentially I'm gay. I want to be in a relationship with another guy, but I don't want the sexual aspect of that relationship. I'm not sexually attracted to anyone. I guess for me, romantic attraction is things like kissing, cuddling, going on dates, spending your life with someone, all the soppy stuff.
All the nice stuff. What doors do you think have opened for you since discovering your asexuality?
Since discovering my asexuality, I have been more involved in the asexual community through Avon and other things, which we'll probably talk about later. So I've definitely made some friendships there. It's nice to talk to people who feel the same way as you do, especially within a minority where there aren't many of us, let's say. Estimated 1% of the population are asexual, so you're not going to run across them randomly. And also, obviously, my Ace Viz Ed work is I enjoy doing that, and it is giving me an avenue to express my creativity in a productive manner.
What was your dating life like before you discovered your asexuality?
My dating life before I discovered my asexuality was non-existent. I came to terms with being gay and being asexual at the same time, and I hadn't really considered or wanted a relationship before then. It wasn't until I considered liking guys in a romantic way that I went into a relationship. But there was a period where I was dating and I was still questioning my asexuality. I figured out and I thought, this is probably me, but I wasn't sure. And that was quite a difficult period because it was a relationship with an allosexual, someone who isn't asexual. And at points they weren't really comfortable with my asexuality. So that made me doubt myself and made me, in a sense, want to not want to be asexual and to kind of bury it down. And it wasn't until after I got out of that relationship that I guess fully accepted my asexuality. And now I'm dating at the moment, technically, like just looking for people to date, let's say. Fishing. At the moment I'm focusing more on trying to find other aces because I think ultimately I want a relationship without sex, and that's the easiest way to go about it without all the drama. Yeah,
it feel a bit more mutual as well because you're not taking anything away from them.
That is, when you're in a relationship with an allo, as someone who isn't asexual, it can feel like if you're not having sex with them, then it is your fault, and that they're sacrificing something to be with you. Obviously that's not always the case, it's a consenting relationship between two people, but yeah, it's a tricky situation.
Yes. Do you feel it's necessary to come out as ace, and if so, how do people respond to you coming out?
I don't think it's necessary because the way I think about it is that I have my sexual orientation is internal and my romantic orientation is external. So me being in a relationship with another guy, that will affect how people perceive me. But someone's never gonna see me having sex or not having sex in my case. Yeah. So it's not really their business. But I think for close friends and family, or if it just comes up in conversation, I'm happy to share it, but it's not something I would go out of my way to share.
Yeah, because it seems like quite normal, doesn't it, in society that friends discuss their sex lives.
Yeah.
So there is sometimes a need to say, oh, no, let's not go there.
The other bit was how do people react, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's been most of the time it's just been positive because a lot of the people I've come out to, they've known me before that, and I think I give off asexual vibes. But there was one time where it's just that whole thing of having to explain it, and then them getting confused that you can have a romantic orientation and a sexual orientation, that you can be interested in a relationship without sex. Because for some reason it's possible to, or it's acceptable to have sex without love,
Yeah.
but unfathomable to have love without sex.
Yeah. Where do you stand on the debate about aces belonging in the LGBTQ plus community?
So I did make a video about this, treading very carefully, and you did too, I saw this
did.
morning. Yeah, I think that aces should be accepted within the LGBT plus community because it, in my opinion, it should be a safe space for gender and sexual minorities, people who aren't cishet, I don't know how you
I
pronounce
wouldn't
that.
know how to say it. I avoid that word.
Yeah. But it should really be a personal choice whether you want to associate yourself with that, whether you're, I don't know, gay or, because you can be gay but not necessarily part of the LGBT plus community, I don't know. But I guess for me, because I'm homoromantic, asexual, my romantic orientation would generally put me in the LGBT plus community anyway, so I don't know how I personally would feel if I were aromantic or heteroromantic.
Yeah, you're pretty much the G in the LGBT.
Yeah. I'm already a G, just got an extra A.
So what ace networks are you part of?
So mainly I lurk on the Avon forums and plug my stuff and try to, I've got some friends on there as well, and then I also keep an eye on the asexual Reddit, the Asexuality Reddit. They sometimes have some interesting stuff on there, and I also plug my stuff. This is all selfish ace community things. I'm just like, come watch my videos.
I'm the same.
And then I've recently created a Twitter account for Slice of Ace to keep up with like the Avon Twitter and all that. But I think there's like a big ace community on Tumblr. But I created a Tumblr account once and it scared me.
It's quite a rabbit hole.
So no, I think mainly Avon and Twitter at the moment.
Yeah, Twitter seems really good for asexuals, I think.
Yeah.
Have you met any other aces besides yours truly in person?
Yes, I've actually been to a few meetups which were organised on Avon, and also there was a homoromantic asexual meetup organised on Meetup, yeah.
Oh yeah.
In London, so I've met some people through that, which is just nice to have a nice day out with some people who won't talk about sex, and also kind of share experiences and talk about asexuality to people who would understand.
I know you said that you've been in a relationship with an allosexual, and thank you for explaining what that was, because I kind of wanted to go into that because I haven't actually mentioned that word on my channel yet.
Yeah, no, it's because there's like allosexual, some people just call them sexuals.
Yeah.
But I feel, and some allos that I know feel that if you just call someone sexual,
it's a bit strange.
It's like, oh, I'm sexual.
But question, would you consider another relationship with an allosexual?
At the moment, no. I would be open to it, but I think before my first relationship, I thought sex was just a physical act, and I'm capable of the physical act.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I can just do it. I don't really care about if I can do it, and then they'll be happy. But what I learned is that for a lot of people, the emotional connection and like sex as a romantic thing is more important than the physical act itself.
Yeah.
And I can't give myself emotionally into it because it's not something I want, it's not something I desire. So yeah, I would definitely prefer to have a relationship with an asexual, and if I did get involved with an allo, I would have a very long conversation at the start of the relationship saying, look, this is how I am, I can't be this sexual person for you. Is this okay? And are you okay with what I'm comfortable with? Kind of setting boundaries and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's important in every relationship. It doesn't happen as often as it should do.
No.
But
people just expect things of other people nowadays, don't they?
yeah, it's especially important when you want a relationship which doesn't fit within societal norms, which as an asexual you can't really have a relationship that fits within societal norms.
So is your romantic or your sexual orientation more important to you, or do you not really distinguish between them?
I do distinguish between them, but they're important to me in different ways. Because I feel personally more asexual, because I don't know, that's how I've always been.
Yeah.
Whereas I've only really found out about my homoromanticism, it's a long word, within the last few years. But obviously, to everyone else, I'm just a gay person. So, and that's how I present myself. So, yeah, it's the same thing as I was saying before, that asexual is important to me personally. My homoromanticism is important to everyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say I consider myself more asexual gay.
Yeah. But they're equally important.
Yeah.
Just in different ways.
Exactly.
Final question. Do sex scenes, and this is another long word, wait for it, do sex scenes and hypersexualization in popular media bother you?
Funnily, they didn't used to, and now they do. And I think this is the same thing about being in a relationship, being in a sexual relationship. Whereas before I was just like, oh, it's something that people do, and I don't really care about it, so I'm just gonna look at my phone or stroke my cat while they're doing it. But now, because I've been in that situation, it just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And like, I don't mind, I guess, sexualization in that, like a topless muscular guy, because that's aesthetically pleasing.
Yes. Agreed.
But yeah, sex scenes and general referring to sex doesn't, in some cases it makes me a bit queasy, but I wouldn't call myself sex averse per se.
It just tends to go on too long, I think.
Yeah, I don't understand. It never adds anything.
No.
It's like, I feel like you could just be like, start kissing, black out,
Yeah.
wake up in the bed.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that? It's the same, like, you know they've had sex. You don't need to be like, and here's the half porn film. It's just...
It's like you said, it's personal. Other people don't need to see it.
Yeah, and I mean, there are, if you want to see that, that's what porn's for, right?
Yes. So, those are all the questions. Thank you for answering them.
It was a pleasure.
You are far more eloquent than I'm about to be.
And I don't know where I've been looking. I feel like I just look out the window.
Yeah, watch
Hopefully-
the people.
Hopefully I'm looking somewhere in the general vicinity of the camera for most of this video.
It is quite nice that you've got a lot to look at, because I don't know if it's an A straight or a me thing, but eye contact is not one of my skills.
No.
So I'm just like, look like you listen, look at the camera.
Yeah.
You know? We filmed the same video in reverse on Daniel's channel. So check that out. I will leave it in the description. I'll also leave his... I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I'll also leave Daniel's Twitter and everything else in the description. So go check him out, learn some more stuff about asexuality, because he's far smarter than I am. And yeah, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. And I will see you next time with another video. Bye!